Greetings, ARX fans, and welcome to the final episode of Axer Rangers X Behind the Scenes. Now, allow me to bring you up to speed with what's going to happen tonight. So tonight, I am going to be doing the final step of Axer Rangers, which is video editing and sound modifying, which is the step after compositing. Now, right now, as you can see before you, I am actually plugging in my USB drive of Fusion Studio 9, and once I have that plugged in, I'm gonna actually take you through what we're gonna be doing tonight. But first, I guess you're probably wondering what the hell is happening with the computer. You know, this layout looks a bit different as opposed to other live stream events. Well, let me break you all up to speed with what happened last time. So, for those of you that have been living under a rock, let me explain. So, a few weeks ago, I suffered from something very serious called Windows 10 boot loop. And for those of you that don't know what it is, basically there is a bug in one of the Windows 10 updates which takes you directly to the recovery console without even bringing you to the desktop. And this is all done without your permission, so if you install the update, it will basically take you to the recovery console and you have no access to your files whatsoever. The files are still there, but access to them is basically lost. So no matter how many times you try to do the boot loop, how many times you try to recover your system, unfortunately your files are there, but you no longer have access to them because you're missing a partition. And you're basically down with two options: either use a recovery disk or USB, or you're pretty much screwed and you have to get something called factory setting USB, which is what Acer provided me. So I pretty much contacted my friends at Acer and they were happy to oblige with USB, and I was able to get my computer back up and running and exactly as new as it was. So with that being said, this is my current layout. As you can see, I'm using Windows 8, and you know what? I intend to stay with Windows 8 because, first of all, thing is, I've had a lot of problems with Windows 10, and to be honest with you, I was never a fan of Windows 10 in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I did like the start button that was back in Windows 10, but you know what? To be honest with you guys, I never had a single problem with Windows 8 whatsoever. In fact, Windows 8 was the main tool that I used for basic compositing and 3D animation and what have you. And I never had any problems with Windows 8 whatsoever. So the fact that I had to upgrade to Windows 10, you know what? Screw that, because there is no Windows 10 update in this version of Windows 8 that I have right now. So good. Let's keep it that way, because I sure as hell don't want to go back to Windows 10 after that boot loop disaster which I currently had to undergo. And you know what? It's for the best. It really is for the best. But at least the good news is most of my programs are back up and running, including 3ds Max, Lightwave, Fusion, Photoshop, Premiere Pro. Okay, it's not Premiere Pro, it's Premiere Elements, but hey, it's better than nothing. And, yeah. Let's get started with the video editing, shall we? Okay, so before we begin, I just want to give out a huge shout out to Monica Rachelle, to Konori and Starleader, the voices of Sue Minamoto, and also to Cheesecake McFly, also voice of Sue Minamoto. Without these four actresses, we wouldn't have Sue Minamoto in Axer Rangers. So, big shout out to all four of them. Let's get started. So right here, I have Sue Minamoto from the lovely, talented Monica Rachelle. And she did the voice of Sue Minamoto for the opening scene where Sue finds out that Void and Red are trapped in a video game. And where did I get this inspiration from? Well, actually, I watched the series trailer for Meta Runner by SMG4. And the funny thing about all this is that this entire episode of Axer Rangers was actually done weeks prior to the Meta Runner trailer. So actually, I was actually working on this right before they released the trailer. So yeah, I was pretty much ahead of them as far as uploading the episode. But hey, I mean, come on, it's still a good episode. I mean, 2 Rangers trapped in a video game, and basically they have to fight their way out of freedom. So yeah. And as you can see before you, I got Mugen. So what I did for this episode basically was I pretty much combined sprite animation with the Mugen engine. And for those of you that already know, yes, I do run Mugen Fight Night Fighters. In fact, I just opened Mugen. I have Mugen 1.0, which is by far my favorite Mugen ever. All the characters are there. And as you can see on screen, Void Ranger is now an official character in Mugen. How did I do that? Well, basically I used Fighter Factory. Fighter Factory is the ultimate Mugen tool for creating characters. I can tell you right now, it is not easy to do, because I did spend countless hours and massive headaches just to get Void Ranger into the game, and now I finally do. He's basically a clone of Red Ranger, but hey, at least he has character, which is something that every Ranger should have in a video game. So yeah, so basically what I did was I created Void Ranger. I have him in the game, and yeah, as you can see, in the first battle of the entire game, Void has to fight his own stepfather. And because War of the Fat Italians 2018, you had Mario and SMG4 fighting each other with Waluigi as the spectator. Obviously, in here, you have Red fighting Void, and Game Ranger is the spectator. So it's pretty much kind of War of the Fat Italians. However, let's just say that the outcome here is completely different compared to SMG4. So it's a great fight, but you're not going to get the same ending. I can guarantee you that much. So here we have the characters. And here comes Miss Sue Minamoto. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to put in Monica Rachelle's voice. So, and there we go. There's Mugen right open. And we're just going to go Kung Fu Man. Stage random. Let's just go for it.
Round 1. Fight.
And yeah, this is a brand new stage I just picked up. It's called Wire Massacre. And I'm going to be using that for the near future for one of the Mugen episodes. Let's see now. So yeah, as you can see, Void Ranger is... He's got the same voice character from Red Ranger. I need to find out how to change it though, but you get the idea. Void Ranger is 100% playable as an action fighter. And of course, just like his stepfather, he does have the characteristics. So, enough of that. I'm just going to end Mugen, and we're going to jump back into the episode. Because, let's not forget one thing. You're going to get 2 matches out of this episode. So, let's put in Sue Minamoto and see what she sounds like. So, first things first, one thing I know for sure is I want to hear what she sounds like, because if her voice is a bit deep, and this is an effect that I do all the time in the episode, I use something called a pitch changer, which changes the pitch by 1, which is very good, especially for Sue Minamoto's voice, because she is small.
Hi there, newbie. Dormion, what are you doing today?
So you know what? Just for this, I'm going to leave it as it is, because it is good enough. So, let's go to where she speaks next. And, okay, she is shocked. So, yeah.
Newbie! Dormion, no! You monsters! Do you even realize what you're doing? No such game as Axem Rangers X.
So yeah, she already knows what's going on.
Some RX-8 creep captured Void and Red Ranger and locked them in this video game. And all this time, you both have been torturing these poor Rangers for your amusement. Your playtime is over, Nobi. Give us the game pack now.
Alright, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of delay here. I'm gonna do it from here. At least.
Nobi, Dormion. Give us the game pack now.
Okay, might have to do a bit of editing, but it's no big deal. I mean, it comes with the job, right? Editing, compositing. The episode is never over unless the editor himself is satisfied. So, we're just gonna do a very quick trim of the voice, and that is good. Yeah! That's perfect. So now we're gonna go to the next part where she is basically gonna be...
Now don't you worry, Rangers. I will set you free. I promise.
Still though, I wonder, what would Monica's voice look like if I did apply the pitch changer in this scenario? So, I'm going to turn off the form and pitch, plus it by 1, and let's hear what she sounds like.
Now don't you worry, Rangers. I will set you free, I promise.
Yes, that sounds like Sue Minamoto. So, that's the beauty of Premiere. You basically have the power to change the voice however you please, and it's a good thing I have a pitch changer, because if I did not have a pitch changer, it would have been very difficult for me to edit the voice, because I would have had to use an old program called Magix, which I really don't use anymore, but it was my go-to editing software for audio, and let's just say I was able to do Pharaoh 90's voice in G major with Magix. Now, as we already know with G major, it is possible to do it with Audacity. I just tend to use it in Magix because it's much easier. So, let's just do one last pitch shift, and there we go. So now we have a pitch shift throughout Sue's entire voiceover. So now we're just gonna scrub through the timeline, and there she is. There's her voice. Let's just... There we go. So let's...
Tell it to the judge, you monsters!
Now that is definitely a big outcome that these characters did not expect. And of course I would put little Sue in the background just for giggles. Now we're gonna just drag her into here. And yeah, by the time you're watching this video, the episode's already gonna be out, so do check it out. It is very emotional.
Master Titanium, you heard about this terrible prank too?
Master Titanium's response, "Damn straight!" You have to admit, Master Titanium is very to the point, you know? And now we're just gonna put Sue just for the...
Oh no! This is awful! Hacker, do you think you can set them free?
Decryption complete. Teleporting
Red!
now.
Boy!
And yeah, you do know that in the show, Sue does have a love interest for Void.
Red! Void! Rangers!
I'm just gonna trim it up a bit here, and then...
I'm so glad you're all safe. I was so worried about you. I'm just glad you're safe and sound. When I heard you all got trapped in a video game, I just had...
Alright, let's do some trimming here. Just gonna trim the empty spaces because basically what we're gonna be doing here is we want Sue to be talking without pausing, which is one of the common methods of trying to get as much voice out as much as possible in a scene, which is very popular in TV shows nowadays, especially when you're trying to explain something long and cryptic, and it's very easy to do, really.
I'm so glad you're all safe. I was so worried.
I think I'm gonna give it a bit. I think I'm gonna give a bit of room for this piece right here.
I'm so glad you're all safe. I was so worried about you. I'm just glad you're safe and sound. When I heard you all got trapped in a video game, I just had to find a way to save you all.
Maybe. Yeah, let's put it up to here because it makes more sense because then Void can have a screen time.
You all.
You're beautiful.
Maybe. Yeah, well, actually, we'll put it right here. And there. Now Void Ranger has some empty space to talk. So, it's good. And now, finally, we're going to put the final piece, which is playing the game. And here we go. This is the final Mugen fight scene of the night. Green and Yellow versus Nobi and Doraemon. Ladies and gentlemen, Nobi and Doraemon. You don't mess with them in Mugen, but in this episode, they are really paying for it after what they did to Red and Void in the game. And there we go. And finally, let's just put that and...
I'll stick with Nobi. Thank you very much.
I'm good with Doraemon for...
And ladies and gentlemen, that does it. So, with that being said, let us export. And ladies and gentlemen, as you're seeing before you, no, this is not Adobe Premiere Pro. This is Premiere Elements. Premiere Elements and Photoshop Elements, they're basically the go-to home editions of Photoshop and Premiere Pro from the Adobe Creative Cloud. Basically, this is the product line that was created if you don't want to spend like $25 to $50 a month on the Creative Cloud. You just want to pay $150 or $200 only once and keep the two packages forever. This is exactly what this product is. It's basically, if you want to do Photoshop or Premiere Pro and you want to work from home, you have the power to do so, and this is the bundle that does it. So you have access to Premiere Pro and Photoshop, and you can tell by Premiere Pro. This is the 2018 version of Premiere Elements, and it's not the same as Premiere Pro, but basically you get all the basic tools minus third-party support, because obviously, you know, it's a homeowner's version, and it's mostly used for home. Whereas if you want to go spend thousands and thousands of bucks on the Creative Cloud with the plugins, I mean, knock yourself out. It's your decision. I'm not judging you. I'm not telling you what to do. It's your call. And you have complete freedom to do so. But if ever you want to, you know, just work at your own pace, you don't want to pay as much money as you want to with the Creative Cloud, like monthly, definitely go with the Elements series, because the Elements series, it is robust, and despite non-third-party supports, you do get the job done with these products, and I use them all the time. I mean, I started with Photoshop in 2009 actually, when I found Photoshop in Best Buy. And then after that, Premiere Elements came in after Sony Vegas unfortunately died out on me when I started using Fusion. And apparently there's a big oh, I don't want plugins in my NLE. I really do not want that. Because of this, Sony crapped out on me, and I pretty much made the switch to Premiere Elements. And you know what? I sure as hell made a good decision, because unlike Sony Vegas, this guy hasn't burned out on me or crashed on me whatsoever, and it's definitely worth switching for. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. And that's about it for the Axel Rangers That's Behind the Scenes series. And I will see you in the next couple of videos. But before we leave, I have one little cryptic message that I want to give to all ARS fans. Alright guys, so here's the cryptic message. I've been wanting to do a project like this for a very long time. And we're talking prior to when I first discovered SMG4. And this is a project I've been wanting to do with SMG4. In fact, this is actually going to be my very first collaboration, hopefully with him, if that is, he approves. So, what exactly is this project? It's a project I call Glitch. And basically what it is SMG4 merged with Axer Rangers and basically put them into one. So you basically get the comedy of SMG4, the adventures of Axer Rangers, you put them in all together and you get an amazing story out of it. And the story that I have in mind, yeah, it's going to be amazing. But I cannot spoil it whatsoever because I want to keep it a secret. But the problem is I'm going to need some help. So what I'm actually asking for, I'm going to be looking out for sprite creators and editors. The reason why is because I need 2 sprite sheets of these special characters, and unfortunately I cannot find these characters anywhere because they're brand new and I intend to use them in this special production. But it's not just those 2 characters. There's going to be more coming in the near future. But let's just say I'm going to have 4 characters for sprite sheets. And let me break it to you down. So we got Psycho Bichiru. We got the 2 characters from Meta Runner. And yes, I'm talking about the villains. And finally, Tari. Why do I want to do this? Because I've been watching a movie recently and I was recently inspired to make something incredible. And I really want to do this project. It is very possible to do it, but I need help. And no, I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking for sprite editors and sprite designers. That's all I ask. As for voice actors, I can probably find a very good Tari impersonator on castingclub.com. I mean, come on. I found Star Leader, Konori, Cheesecake McFly. I found them all. Oh, and Lena Valtopaz, voice of Doremi. I found them all on castingclub.com. And you know what? I do not regret visiting that site whatsoever, because if it hadn't been for that website, I would have never found my voice actresses whatsoever. So, with that being said, I am planning to create this beautiful project called Glitch. And I would like the approval of SMG4 and his brother Kevin, because this is a project that is bound to happen. I mean, I've been wanting to do Axem Rangers with SMG4 for a very long time. I never had the chance to do it because I've been working on, all of Axem Rangers X, leading all the way up to season 21, including the big movie Game of Chess. And because of all this, I never actually had a chance to write the story for Glitch. So, with that being said, I really want to pull through to this project. I really want this project to become a hit, and I really want this project to be as hilarious and adventurous as possible. Because if you thought the current seasons of Axer Rangers was adventurous, let me tell you, you're in for a long road of hilarity and adventure. And with that, I would like to give my final shout outs to SMG4 and Kevin of Hobo Bros. Because without these guys, I would have never been inspired to create what I'm about to upload tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. If you are a sprite creator or editor, comment below, please. I would desperately need your help to make this project a reality, because without these characters, I cannot make this project possible. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. If you are a sprite editor, comment below. Thank you, and have a nice day.